Hey guys, Trevor Chikuti here from SpineWise, and today I really want to talk to you, especially if you're somebody who's just been diagnosed with migraines, or if you've been having migraines for a long period of time and you're getting sick of them and you're sick of the medication, you're really looking for some other options. But like always, hey, if you're watching and you're tuning in with me here today, say hi. Always good to know that someone's available and watching rather than me talking here to myself. But anyway, okay, so migraines. So we all know that migraines can be debilitating. We understand, they don't just affect you, they affect your relationships, they affect your kids, they affect your partner, they affect everyone, they affect your income, your company you work for, or the company that you do yourself. Everything you do in life gets affected by migraines. Losing one day a week, one day a month, or even more in some circumstances really does have a debilitating effect on not just you, but all of those around you as well. So that's the first thing we need to understand, because too many people just see migraines as being, this little kind of thing that's not that big a deal, and hey, they're just like a headache, and nothing could be further from the truth. And as a migraine sufferer, I know you understand that. Just as the way I see so many people who have suffered over the years understand that. So I really want to talk to you about the first few steps you need to take if you've just been diagnosed with migraine to start with, but also if you've been looking for other potential ways of trying to get away from the whole medication cycle, which unfortunately is so commonly used today in all forms of headaches, rather than a broader type approach. All right, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is if you've just been diagnosed with migraine, where do you start? So you've got two things we really need to look at. One is the ability to maintain function, in other words, to keep up with your life, and the other one is to try and find some kind of relief or long-term resolution. And whilst they may seem like the same thing, they're actually not necessarily the same thing. So for instance, if you're on the footy field and you've just sprained your AC joint and you can still play, but it's really painful, you can kind of take something or have an injection or something like that and reduce the pain and keep going with the game. But long term, that's probably not going to do your shoulder good. You really need to get it managed and get it taken care of so that it's not a problem for you heading forward anymore. So the same thing happens when we start talking about things like migraine. So there's a quick solution to it, which is basically take some kind of medication to hide it when you get it, and that allows you to maintain your level of function. However, long term, we really want to try and find some kind of resolution or to minimize or even perhaps get rid of your migraine so that you can live a normal life without the risks that come with taking various medications or the like. So the second thing which ties into that then is we then need to assess the components from migraine quite thoroughly and truly understand them. And there's some key things with migraine that really, really are important that unfortunately are often missed or not investigated properly from my experience. So the key things with that really are things like your jaw, your neck, and your balance centers. So vestibular function is really key, the jaw itself is really key, and the cervical spine is really, really important. And this is because all of these have such a profound influence on something called the trigeminal-vascular pathway. And this is really, really important for us because the trigeminal-vascular pathway has been the closest associated link to migraine, and no matter which theory you look at, somehow or another it involves this thing called the trigeminal-vascular pathway. And I've got a ton of videos on it. We've been working on this all week as well, so you can jump on the vids and have a look at the trigeminal-vascular pathway and how the jaw, the brainstem, neck, and all these type of things all come together to produce this level of dysfunction. So that's the second thing to look at. The third thing to look at then are potential biochemical markers that may also aggravate these type of things. So these can be certain nutritional supplements, herbals, and even things like hormonal irregularities, which whilst they may not be the cause, I'm just going to swap arms here because my hand's getting tired, whilst they may not be the cause of migraine as such, they can potentially aggravate it and contribute to it just by changing inflammatory levels and sensitivity levels within the brain and the nervous system itself, altering your sensory mechanisms in the brain. So those are three places to start if you've been suffering really with migraines, especially if you've just been diagnosed with them. Step one is make sure you get some kind of short-term relief, something that can catch you when you're having an acute attack and help you out. Second one is get a proper investigation. We need to properly and thoroughly investigate the jaw, the cervical spine, your balance centers to start with. And when I say proper investigation of the jaw, I'm not just saying have someone hold it, open and close your mouth. We're talking about a proper, thorough investigation to rule out any potential problems with the jaw itself, which are actually really common. And then the third one we want to look at is the physiological or the nutritional, biochemical, whatever you want to call it, components, which again need to be thoroughly assessed to work out where you're at. And if we get all three of these right, then for most people, we can regain a good control of our lives. And for a lot of people, they can actually get their migraines either significantly reduced or potentially even put on hold, if you want to say that, or into remission. And that can help people regain their lives and get control of things and stop the fear and worry around any of that. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions with that, post them up. I'm going to put a link on here as well. If you watch this far in, I'm guessing you're probably either suffering with migraines or have some concerns about migraines or have someone that you know who has migraines. So I'm going to put a link up with this one as well to an ebook that I've generated. It's our ultimate guide to, what do you call it? I've forgotten the name of it myself. Oh my gosh, there you go. Christmas has gotten to everybody and our break. It's the ultimate guide to nutrient support for migraine sufferers, which basically has a whole lot of information in there about what causes migraines, what we understand, the science behind them, and a whole lot of things from a biochemical perspective, which have been shown now to help migraine sufferers that we use in our office quite regularly. So anyway, if you're interested in that, just click the link and that'll take you to it. Otherwise, if you have any questions, post them up. Always happy to help you guys out in any way, shape or form that I can. Speak to you soon. Catch you guys. Bye for now.